Now I'm going to discuss the yin and yang colours, black and white. So we'll begin with the black. This candle I didn't use for about 15 years. I was frightened of using black. I never even owned a black candle. And it was only as I got older that I started to think, and I researched a lot more, that black isn't necessarily negative. But what it is very good at is absorbing negativity. It clears negativity and it gets rid of evil. So I ventured out some years ago and bought some black candles and tried them out. And I have found that these are ultimately the best colour for banishing things. Now you have to be careful when you're banishing anything or anyone. You have to make sure that you do it with the right intent and that you're not angry or upset or sending out any negativity. So you can use black, keep it just for banishing. If you have a ghost in the house, if you have an evil person around you, or if you have somebody that's causing you a lot of problems, you can safely just move them to one side by using black. It stops things like harassment as well, or people stalking you, that kind of thing. And now we move on to white. Now white is pure. This is the pure shade that really covers any situation. Now if you don't own any other coloured candles in your kit other than white, it's okay, because white can be used for anything. You can use it for any of the spells that I've suggested just now, or you can just have it there as an altar candle like we have here to calm the energies. So if in doubt and you don't know what colour to use white. I'm now going to discuss the pathway candles and the pathway candle holder. Now these pathway spells are a little bit different from most spells that you have in books. Sometimes we may need to cast a spell over a period of time. An hour or two, a one-off ritual may not be enough. We may need longer and spend more time over things. So it's good to have one of these candelabra kind of arrangements that hold multiple tea lights. You can buy them from stores, online, they're quite accessible. The idea of these pathway spells is that they help with particular things on a larger scale. For instance, if I had a child, let's say, that was going travelling on a gap year, and this child was visiting lots of different countries, and if I wanted to ensure that child's safety at each destination that he or she arrived, I would light one candle, that's all, for that particular place that they are going. And then when they move on to the next country, let's say they go over to France, I would do another spell, and then another spell and another spell, so that I was ensuring their protection in every place and that my focus was on them in every area they are. It's also very good, this kind of spell casting, for people who suffer with terminal illnesses. I mean mainly things like cancer or an illness where they're having to have regular treatment. For instance, a cancer patient might have to repeatedly go back to the hospital for radiotherapy or for chemotherapy. So each time they go, each time they receive the treatment, you would light a candle just beforehand for them during that time. So sometimes the candles are not all lit at once like they are here now, they're just lit in stages, but you would leave the empty one there just as a reminder that that has been done. Now this is one example of a pathway candle holder, but you can also make your own, and lots of witches like to have the image of a pentagram on their altar, and you can actually get pathway pentagram holders, although I don't think they call them pathways, they're just pentagram holders, and you can place a tea light candle on each point of the star. So you have one for earth, air, fire, water and spirit. And here you can do the same thing. So let's just say that I was going to be interviewing for new jobs. I want a new job. So every time I go for an interview, I light a candle on that day. I actually did this pathway spell when my son, my youngest son, was taking his driving lessons, because he had a few failed attempts, bless him. So 5 days before his test, I lit a candle for him on every day, and then the last one was burning whilst he was taking the test, and he passed. So they are really nice things to have. And house blessings as well. You might decide that you don't want to light all sorts of different candles in holders all around. You might just like to have the pathway candle here. You can, it has a multiple uses. You could you know, burn white candles at night just to clear the energies in the home, or even if you're taking a bath and you want to meditate and clear your head. So, you know, have a think about maybe getting one of these and having it nearby if you are serious about casting spells, because often, sometimes, there are things that we need to give that little bit more importance to. Now, throughout this video I've been talking about these small 10cm candles to use, and one of the reasons why we use these small ones is because they have a burning time of just a couple of hours, which is perfect. When we start to use taller candles, for instance, we have altar pillar candles here. If you were waiting for that to burn down, you'd be here all day. So we wouldn't use those necessarily for spells. We would use them more for cleansing an altar and creating the right ambience. I want to talk about these rainbow candles, which I am going to mention again my beloved Glastonbury, because I do get most of my supplies from there. But these candles are handmade, and if you look here, I have a smaller rainbow candle, and this one's wonky too, so we know they're handmade. And these candles work for anything. They are extremely powerful. Because they're handmade, they contain the essence of the creator. So 9 times out of 10, most candles are made by people who have an interest in Wicca. So they're putting their energy in as they're making them. You might even like to have a go at making your own, but I've never been very successful at that, I'll be honest. But I do know people that have. And if you do make your own candles, of course, you're going to get a much more powerful vessel. So these tall tapered candles will take much longer to burn down than our little shorter friends here. So you would use something like this. I have one of these on the go all the time, and basically if anyone around me has a problem, or somebody phones me and says, Leanna, my son has gone into hospital, please can you do a spell for him, or I have you know, a friend that's going through problems in her marriage or something, I would light the candle just for an hour. I would say my spell over the top. There's no need to inscribe it, my intent will be on it, and this powerful candle will send that message. So you can have one of these sort of in a holder somewhere in your home and use them, you know, as often as you like. The smaller little rainbow candles that we have here, these are so good. I really do wish I could find someone that sells these. They're very, very rare and hard to get hold of, but these are amazing because, again, you don't have to go for a specific colour. You can use these for anything, but they are super magical. So with any candles, when you're spell casting, you have to use your common sense. It's not a good idea to have them low down if there's little children running around. That it's no good lighting them and leaving them to do their own thing. You've got to be responsible when you're casting spells. We know that we shouldn't really blow them out while a spell is in commence, while the spell is commencing, but at the same time do keep your eye on it. I don't burn any candles through the night. There are spells in books that do call for that, but if you wanted to, you would have to make sure that you maybe put the candle in the bathtub or a sink, somewhere where it can't catch fire. So do spellcast responsibly, and hopefully you enjoyed this video and I've answered lots of questions that you may have had. You can find a lot of this information in Sean and our book Wikipedia, which in this book it's got all sorts about candles and colours, and also many other subjects which you might find interesting. So I will put the links at the bottom of the video for this, but it's very easy really. Just go into Amazon, type in our names and all our books are there. So it's been a pleasure today. Thank you very much for listening to me, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.
Why not subscribe to my channel and be the first to know about all of my latest tutorials?